So good morning. I'm here with Mike from Adobe, and we're going to spend the next few minutes talking about data, AI, and how those underpin the customer experience. So firstly, good morning, Mike. Welcome to Future Decoded.
Morning. Thank you, Paul. It's great to be here. Thank you for inviting us. I was here yesterday. It was a phenomenal day. I love the messaging coming out, the AI for all, which actually, I work in our product and industry marketing team, and AI for all, and I can see AI coming out in the tools that we're building and the data. But we're working with marketers. They've been looking at data-driven decision-making for many years, and you need this data for AI.
Yep.
And how important is the marketer? Given your role as CMO at Microsoft, how important is the marketer's role in enabling other parts of the organization to become data-driven, the product teams, the PR, everyone else?
So great AI needs great data, and I would say one of the biggest pieces of work that we've undertaken in Microsoft in the UK recently has been around getting that single source of truth, that single source of customer data on which we can start to overlay some amazing tools and technology, some of those from Adobe. But actually to do that requires a great deal of collaboration across the business, not just in terms of clearly working with the IT team and ensuring that the technology roadmap, the processes, the stack, the usage, et cetera, works beautifully. But then ensuring that that's infused and integrated into the way our sellers work and our product team work. And really what that needs is amazing collaboration. But if the customer experience is at the very heart of all those conversations, I think it's one that the organization allows you to drive and allows you to break down silos with.
So, breaking down those silos are important because as everyone starts to use more data, and becomes data-driven, we're telling everyone to start using data, you'll get these silos. But how do you, that cultural element that you mentioned there, how do you embed that? Because actually that's a very difficult thing for an organization. Technology is the easy bit. How do you get the culture within the organization?
So silos are, I always say to my team, customers fill silos. Customers fill silos, whether it's data, customers fill silos of its broken processes. And so again, I think the conversation with the organization, has been rooted back in, that customer experience, that customer lifetime value, that customer touch. And ultimately, if we can remove those silos, we can make that customer journey more an experience, a far more pleasing one for the organization, which translates in our ability to interact and communicate with those customers in a more effective way too. So the silos have to be eradicated because customers feel them. And again, the language of removing these for the good of our customers really helps to kind of open doors and have conversations that maybe a decade ago CMOs and CIOs weren't having together.
So it's about collaboration.
Completely.
So, CIO, CMO, we need to collaborate together, different parts of the organization.
Yeah.
From a creativity perspective, how does that come into it? Because now we're talking about designers and the creatives using data, and so does that mean that marketers are now the data scientists and the creatives are just?
There's no doubt we've seen a big shift in the demographics and the makeup of marketing teams in terms of data and operational prowess. Embedded in the heart of the way a marketing organization works. But what I would say when we look at all of the tools that we have at our disposal and the technology we have, my view has always been it's around how technology can augment human beings. And what we've found is even as we've changed the blend of skill set to be more data-led, more data-driven, that doesn't mean that marketing is no longer a creative force or that creatives and creative thinking has a lesser an impact on the way we interact with customers, but it's now underpinned with data. It's now underpinned with a different mix of skill set. So, for me, that shift has happened, but it's still about the tools augmenting human capability, and that's where I see, the magic and some of the best work we do happen when those two components work together.
And yes, and that's perfect. I see that that moving experimentation into business practice, the technology and the people working together. We're spending a lot of time integrating these technologies, creating the right workflows. What do you see as the next step, the future for the marketer?
Yeah, I think for me, infusing marketing in it becoming part of the corporate muscle, part of the ways of working, rather than an independent department that sits on the side, and it's never being rooted really firmly into the commercial goals and objectives of the business. Maybe hasn't historically had the data and the data sets to firmly root themselves back into the commercial objectives. You sometimes see that gap between a marketing team and the commercial reality of the business. And as a marketeer, that makes me want to cry, because all the tools, all the technology in the market today mean, more so than ever, marketing's ability to reach customers, to drive great experience, to acquire new customers, to maximize the customer's lifetime value at scale, done incredibly well based on data. It's a great time. It's a great time to be in marketing. It's a great time to be using and utilizing some of the tools available and at our disposal. So, my view today is the CMO organization is more important than ever in helping the business drive and hit its goals and objectives.
Brilliant, fantastic. So basically what you're saying, technology is the enabler. It's about collaboration, the right culture, breaking down those silos and working together.
Yeah, I think that's beautifully summarized. Yes.
Well, no, that's brilliant. And I'm really looking forward to day 2 here at Future Decoded. And look forward to plenty of conversations out there with everyone else.
It's been great speaking to you.
No, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.